the internet. You know, you ever had the statement, the internet is undefeated, right? There's always something that comes up whereby fighting it is pointless because you are fighting an unwinnable fight. I've been seeing a lot of clips about Fresh and Fit, how the views are, the manosphere, and all that. And I feel like these guys do serve a very great part of our society. They help in a lot of things that a lot of us guys need guidance in. I used to be a big fan of their show, listening to how you treat women, how you do this, how you get this, how you do that, how you interpret certain things that are being said to you. You know, we live in a time now where you don't want to be an SIMP. You just want to be a high value dude. You want to be somebody who carries yourself in society and are respected for who you are. And a lot of things that they do touch on is things that you as a guy actually do go through, you know, when you end up in the friend zone. These are things that you need help with, because a lot of guys, we end up in the friend zone, not intentional, because that's not what we ever wanted in the first place, you know. And I've been a fan of their views until, for me, that relationship ended the moment they started saying, you know, there was you could tell they were anti-black women. And a lot of what was happening for me in that first time when I would be watching that is you want to be very careful of what you allow to influence you, because that carries you as a human being in society. How you carry yourself comes from the things that you're allowed to get into your brain. So I had to take myself off. But then these guys are super good at creating content that goes viral, content that engages with people, that in as much as you do not pay attention to what they do, it also affects you. So it comes down to a clip that made the rounds one time whereby they were speaking about how they do not like to date black women. It's not their preference, and they did call them weird names, Shakwanda, whoever. And you know, from a guy's perspective, you can understand when someone says, I will not date a certain race because of ABC. The hurtful thing is if you will not date someone from your own race because you feel like they're inferior, you feel as if they are ill-mannered, you feel a lot of things. But the thing with dating is it's so subjective to the person that you're dating based on their values. So you can be in a situation whereby if you know people who are in abusive relationships, certain people just attract abusive partners. And then you cannot then come out and say, especially if you've only dated within a certain race, you're dating people who are very abusive and black, and then you start saying, oh, black men are abusive, so my solution is just not to date black men. So I don't prefer black men because black men are the ghetto, black men are this. You've created a stereotype out of human beings, which is not fair. And then when you have a big platform like what Fresh and Fit has, and they have a big influence to whereby people start saying, yes, 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 we agree, we agree, we agree, we agree. You then end up in a situation whereby people now, whenever they do see a black woman walking, minding her own business, they just go, oh, you Shakwisha, or whatever type of name that they came up with, which then perpetuates a lot of hatred within our own race, which is a problem. And in this interview, these guys were being asked about that, and they were doubling down. And the weird thing is, when then they start saying, oh, we were joking, it was a joke. And you know, the problem with jokes and sarcasm is, if you don't put your things into perspective and context and making sure that another person has understood what you're saying, then you have a problem. Because it's only a joke if I understand that you're joking. If you know, the effective, it's called communication. Effective communication is knowing that the next person has understood what you're saying. So when you go, I don't date black women, it's a joke. You know what I mean? And then you say it again and again and again. And the other thing that comes, you know, there's a statement that I was always told: in every joke, there's an element of truth in that, you know, in what you're saying. And I'll play you little clips from this interview that this guy has had. I will not call them delusional, but that's how they view life. And I think with the internet, you have to be very careful for yourself as the viewer in terms of who you listen to and what influence you're getting from that person. Because anytime any man comes to you and says, I can teach you how to be a man, you should be very careful, because one thing about life is we're constantly learning. So be very careful.
That shit is real. That shit is real.
Bro,
that shit is
we're
real.
in the dating market every single day doing the thing live, bro.
No, there's no question. I know you're talking to a lot of guys. I'm just trying to. I don't want you guys to be so disillusioned, man. Because
No, I'm happy, bro. I'm happy to know the truth. because now I'm free. Before I was like,
This ain't the Matrix.
Son, this red
No, it is. It is, bro.
Guys out the Matrix.
Come on, Matrix, bro.
Hey, take the red pill. Take the red pill.
Wake up.
red pill for pussy.
Exactly. No, I'm just saying, like, when we're so locked in our bubbles, man, oftentimes it's like we attract the things that we talk about. I don't mean that in terms of some secret shit, but like the girls that are probably going to hit y'all up
And
are
wanna
not
be on
gonna
the podcast.
and want to be on the podcast. And not even like, even the girls who are like, it's fucked up what you guys say. Like, I'm so different. Like, let's go hang out.
Yeah.
They're also, remember, they're also trying to find their emotional comfort zone, right? Their preference also. They believe they deserve a guy who has the feelings you have about them. You see what I'm saying? Because their comfort zone is, I'm a predator. Maybe I ain't shit. I need a guy to kind of treat me as if we're fighting over this thing of dominance, right? So the girls that are reaching out to y'all don't even realize that their fucked up mentality is going to persist the belief you guys have about women. You're not having some girl going to church on Sundays hitting y'all up like, hey, let me take you to church, see what's happening.
That's 1,000 girls you talk to. There's 190 million in the U.S. You know what I mean? Like, you hit a very specific cross section in Miami. Girls who are going to want to come on this podcast, want to talk to you guys, look for validation. That's not even the average woman.
Hold on.
But we bring in a lot of girls from
all
different
over the
places.
world.
Girls flying to come on the show.
Canada, America,
They're still-
Europe.
But they still want clout, right? They still on the show
Yes.
because they want some exposure.
Yes.
Actually, sometimes just like her friends say, "Yo, come on the show." She doesn't know what she's coming into. It's just random.
Oh,
like,
fuck.
Yeah,
so,
man. Like-
it's not just Miami girl. I'm telling you, bro. It's
Yeah,
all
they
over
come
the
from
world.
all over, man.
We're not trying to discredit the pool that you're going from. That's not what I'm trying to do. And I'm not really trying to discredit any of your work or any of that kind of stuff. I'm having a conversation with you guys, 100%.
Let's jump, mate.
And then Fitness Fridays, right?
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, that's
And then
Gentleman
Fitness Fridays.
Wednesdays.
And then we
it
also
could
do
be
the-
anything. How to get a wife Wednesday.
And then
Beat
we also
bitches up Wednesday.
and then we also have a Fitness Friday as well. So like we do a lot of the stuff that goes viral obviously is the nighttime shows with the girls, Fresh and Fit
Right.
after hours.
Yes.
But our regular show, we do the self-improvement stuff. And a lot of guys call in and tell their stories and everything. But, of course, it's not going to go viral when a guy calls in and says, hey, man, you guys helped me from hurting
So how
myself.
do you guys balance that, right? Like, because my assumption is you want the show to be more than that. You want the show to be more than like the Jerry Springer, like the train wreck, because you're putting so much more time into the other things.
Yeah.
Right? You have a specific day episode at least dedicated to being in shape.
Yeah.
So how do you balance it? And are you concerned about balancing it, or are you in a growth period right now where you're like, listen, as long as people are watching, that's fine, and then we'll figure that out.
So I think the audience kind of like dictates because we put out the content and they don't watch that as much per se. They watch the late night shows with girls. However, they get a lot of value from it. So they'll tune in, get value, go make some money, whatever, go conquer the world. And then like, okay, let's see the ratchet shit at nighttime.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that like, so we'll do the nighttime show, right? And that'll like get a lot of clicks because they'll be like, oh wow, this is good stuff. And then a lot of them will say, oh wait, they make other content. And then they'll come in and they'll watch our Money Mondays. They'll see when we bring Grant Cardone on or Robert Kiyosaki and we talk about real estate because I'm big in real estate investing myself.
Yeah.
So they'll see that like, okay, wow, you guys offer a lot more value. So they might come for the girls, but stay for the content. And if we get them like that, awesome, because now they can self-improve and watch the other more meaningful self-improvement stuff. But the nighttime stuff, even though people say it's Jerry Springer and all that other stuff, there are a lot of good lessons in it. We have debates about, intersexual dynamics, male versus female, dating, etc. And guys get to see kind of real time how a lot of women think. Because even though we say, not all girls are the same or whatever, even though the hardware might be different, a lot of the software is the same. And, women from the West in general have a certain way of thinking when it comes to how they deal with men, etc. And a lot of guys are able to see that real time in 1080p, live. And I think it's
The way this guy's looking at him is like, you believe your own bullshit, brother.
a lot of guys learn from that about, how women operate.
I think there's definitely a lot to learn, but I do think that there are different. I think there is a more diversity in women's intentions than you guys are demonstrating.
I mean, we can agree to disagree.
That's what
We can agree
I
to
push
disagree.
back. There is no question
No
there
worries.
are girls out here trying to dig gold, bro. There's no question. And there's no question there are girls who are predators out here. We know them. It's very popular. But I do think that there are plenty of women that literally have day jobs, want to have a family, have no interest going to a fucking nightclub after 25 years old. They want to sit home. They want to watch the fucking Salt Lake Housewives, and they actually watch it thinking those girls are idiots. Like, I think that this is probably the majority of chicks.
No, of course. And we're not saying they're. I want to make this
And that's
very
what I
clear.
want
We're not
y'all
saying
to
they're
know,
predators.
man.
We're not saying they're predators. What I'm saying is that guys need to understand how women think and operate in modern day dating. Is all I'm saying, because most guys have no idea,
No clue.
They think women are sugar and spice and everything nice, and she'll never do anything to me, and she's not capable of that or whatever. And we just want guys to understand that she is capable of doing this to you. So operate correctly.
The stories
So
that we
put
hear,
yourself in
bro,
a bad
are
spot.
heartbreaking. Like, you guys have no idea what men go through on a daily basis. It's
Yeah,
terrible,
it's really
bro.
bad.
It's terrible.
We've been men our life.
Yeah.
We've
No,
had
but
bad
like
regular
dates.
guys, you
It's
know,
regular
like
guys.
You know what it
Like,
is?
average
We were
Joes-
regular at one point in our lives.
I was
you know
fat
what I
and
mean?
ugly.
Some of us more regular than others, you know? I'm very regular.
All right,
Yeah.
can I bring up stats then for you guys to discuss? Because you are talking about modern dating and dating apps. So Hinge, the dating app, millions of folks. It's not like Raya where you have to be a member. It's every type of guy and girl. They revealed statistics. The top 1% of guys are swiped 16% of the time. That means that girls are going after that. The bottom 50% of guys are getting 4% of likes.
Damn.
So what is the answer to get the normal guy, everyday guy back in the room where, you can build up confidence in a nice way and they can be in a bar and go the traditional route when most people are meeting this way, or they're in college where you have time to meet someone. So these are the
What's the
stats.
inverse statistics with bad bitches and...
What's up?
Yeah,
the
guys
inverse?
swipe on everyone.
It's
Yeah, they swipe
actually,
on
no,
everyone.
the women,
Yeah, they swipe on everyone because
no,
they're
the
trying to
top
fuck.
1% of women, it's 11%. So in all the
See, that's the one thing that I had to learn when I moved to North America. This whole swipe left, swipe right nonsense, man. It's like you just want to meet people at a bar, have a conversation. But then it's weird because we got freaks out here who do random things to people in this bar as well. So women are very apprehensive. But anyway, the whole context of Fresh and Fit, man, I feel like they're very valid and needed in society because there has to be someone who shakes up the system in a sense, because us as men, we've become so soft to where we do need the waking up. But as well, also, there need to be a counterbalance to understanding that when we look at women as a subsection of society, it's, let's say you have 190 million women. 1 million of those could share the same values, and the rest of them don't. So when you build your content based around that million of people and you neglect the other 189, you have a problem, So there is need for guys to learn these things and understand how to carry yourself in society, become a valuable person, become someone who holds yourself in your self-esteem. When you love yourself, you're able to love another person, right? But as well, you need to understand that it's not always a war zone when you're in a relationship. It doesn't have to be. And constantly, that's where we are at, where women are being taught men ain't shit, men are this, men are that, men are this, and men are being told women are this. So what you have is you have two hostile people coming together trying to create a union. Nothing will work out of there. We need to understand that each person is individually different. The actions might be the same, but the intentions are totally different. And we need them to be able to create, systems or ways of viewing people. Like, oh, this person is like this person is like that. Can I accept that person? And build relationships based off of that. With that said, man, you can go check out this Flagrant 2 interview between Fresh and Fit and what's his name? Fresh and Fit. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you think of Fresh and Fit. The views on. Are you a fan? Are you not? That's it. See you in the next one.